Happiness lies in your heart. Three friends named Ronnie, Daniel, and Jimmy resided in a cottage by the woods. They were sincere and hardworking young boys. Every day they would go into the forest to cut wood. Later they would sell it in the market where it would fetch a reasonable price. Thus their life continued in this manner. However, they were always sad and morose. Even though they lived a good life, they weren't satisfied. One day, while returning home, they saw an old and haggard woman bent low with a sack on her back. They offered to carry the sack to her home. She smiled and expressed her gratitude. The old woman had magical powers. Pleased with the three friends' kind and selfless gesture, she asked them if there was anything she could help them with. "We are not content, and that has become our greatest concern," replied Ronnie. The woman asked them what would make them happy. Each friend spoke of a different thing that would please him. The old woman said, "Go home and each one of you shall find exactly what you have wished for." The three friends returned home thrilled. Lo and behold, right beside their cottage, there was a massive mansion with a doorman and other servants waiting outside. They greeted Ronnie and ushered him in. At some distance, one could see a yellow farmland. A ploughman came forward and announced that it belonged to Daniel. Right at that moment, a beautiful maiden approached Jimmy and said that she was his wife. The three friends were beside themselves with joy at this new turn of events. The days passed and soon a year was over. However, the situation was now different for all of them. Ronnie had become lazy and did not supervise his servants in taking proper care of the mansion. Daniel found it burdensome to plough the fields and sow seeds from time to time. Jimmy, too, no longer found any joy in his wife's company. All of them were unhappy. One day the three of them decided to visit the old woman at her home. "Please tell us how we can be happy," said Jimmy. "Well," replied the old woman, "it is all in your hands. Earlier, since you weren't happy with what you had, you never really felt content or satisfied. Soon, boredom and misery overcame you and you became upset again. Only if you learn to be happy where you are can you truly enjoy the bliss of happiness. Sometimes it is essential to understand you might not be satisfied with what you have, but it doesn't make your life unhappy. Whatever you have got is for the best." Ronnie, Daniel, and Jimmy realized their mistake and went back home, remembering that happiness and the feeling of satisfaction went side by side. Never again did the three friends take their blessings for granted. Thus, they lived happily ever after. Moral of the story: only if you learn to be content can you truly enjoy the bliss of happiness. Thanks for watching the story.